Hi everyone, it's Spencer here with Spencer Stuff. Welcome to the community. Appreciate you being here. Today we're going to be talking about the Sony WH-1000XM6, specifically some features that I wish to see on this next iteration of Sony's noise cancelling headphone. But before I jump into everything, I ask that you please hit that like button, subscribe, and of course, ring that bell notification icon so you're informed of everything that I upload in the future. Thank you so much. Sony's WH-1000XM series of headphones have always been some of the most feature-rich, well-liked, and some of the best headphones on the market in the noise-canceling category. That being said, each iteration of the headphone has seen some improvement, but it's kind of tapered off within the last two makings of the headphone. So the first thing I want to talk about as an improvement for the XM6 is the driver. As I've talked about in my previous videos, Odyssey has been acquired by Sony, and this happened back in 2023. The reason that this is obviously so important, and as I said before, many of you probably already know this, Sony acquiring Odyssey means they have access to planar magnetic drivers. This means that we have a chance to have true audiophile quality sound coming from a noise cancelling set of headphones. To this day, we don't really have that. Granted, I know that there are some companies out there who makes really solid noise cancelling headphones, but the R&D is going into the noise cancelling itself and not necessarily in the driver. I think if Sony's able to reel in the XM6s and really make the planar magnetic drivers that I think they're going to be putting in the headphone solid, we're going to be getting a true noise cancelling audiophile quality headphone that we can wear day to day. The next thing I want to see out of Sony is an improvement in the comfort category. While the XM4s and XM5s are obviously still very comfortable headphones, nothing is perfect. My biggest gripe with the XM series, especially with someone who has pretty big ears, is that they're not the most comfortable headphone when they're on your ears for extended periods of time. And that's okay. You know, they're supposed to be a low profile headphone, but I do think that expanding the ear cups, making them slightly bigger, adding a little bit more cushioning on the padding at the top of the head, and really focusing on improving the clamping force of the headphones could be a great feature for these headphones. As well as this, customizability on those ear pads could also be a great option for Sony to explore. There's a great market out there for third-party ear pads, and we could see true customization on the XM6, and that is one thing that I think would be really awesome to have. As opposed to just having your typical black, blues, and whites, you could go out and buy specific ear pads that might be different colors, or maybe even shells that allow for customizability. So this not only goes with comfort, but the full fit and finish of the headphone completely changes, and it becomes dependent on your personality type. I think that would be a great set of features for this noise-canceling headphone. The third thing I really do want to see out of the XM series is an IP rating. I know a lot of people have talked about this, and this is something that I've always talked about as well. There are people who want to go to the gym and wear their headphones and don't necessarily want to have to buy another set just to be able to work out in them. The lack of an official IP rating on the XM series is kind of a turnoff when going to the gym with these headphones. You would think in order to drown out the crappy gym music that you have to listen to, you want to have the best noise canceling on the market, but if you're going to sweat into your headphones and it's going to destroy them, why are you going to even want to bother wearing them? Especially with that, if you're around town and you're walking around and it starts to rain, you're immediately going to be turned off of the idea of keeping your headphones on. It's horrifying to think that water's just going to seep into every crevice and potentially destroy your headphone that you just spent a ton of money on. An official IP rating would be a great thing for this headphone, and it is something that has been requested for quite some time in the WH-1000 series. I think it could really push the Sonys forward and create a wider scape of people who could use the product, specifically people who go to the gym all the time, and then they wouldn't have to take any more risks. Number 4 on the list is obviously going to be something related to noise cancellation. I mean, on anyone's list, it's going to be that. But mine is actually a feature that I want to see removed. And on the XM5s, the dynamic noise cancellation always frustrated me. It's a feature that I have no doubt in my mind is just a battery saving feature. And while I could see it improving with AI algorithms and everything else in the current market, I want to have full control of my noise cancellation. If I want to run it at full blast all the time, no holds bar, I should be able to do that. That is one thing that I do not like when companies do, is when they take features from you and remove them and give them to the computer to do. That is not something that I think should be done, And on the XM4s, it's the reason that I stayed with them, because I didn't want to have my noise cancellation telling me when I couldn't use it at full blast. This feature needs removed or massively tweaked to give the consumer the rights to pick how much noise cancellation they want. That simple. The fifth thing that I really do want to see Sony improve upon is the microphones. And frankly, this could be down to the algorithm on their headphones. I don't actually know. One thing I do know though, Bose and Apple have Sony beat when it comes to the ambient mode and to call quality. Sony's call quality, while still good, has issues. On the 4s and 5s, they have improved, but there have been plenty of times where I've been talking to people and they're like, "What? I can't hear you." Or, "You have to speak up, I can't hear you that well." Or, "Your voice is too compressed, it's hard to understand what you're saying." This is something that cannot happen when you're wearing a headphone. And if you're wanting that seamless nature of the headphone to continue, you need to improve the call quality. And it needs to pick up more vocal ranges, apparently. I don't know if they're doing too much compression that's causing issues, but it's still there. Now, when it comes to the ambient mode, I like a more natural sounding ambient mode. Sony sounds extremely processed and robotic, and I don't know what their algorithm is doing on the back end, but I can tell you now that you want to have a more natural sounding ambient mode so you're more aware of your surroundings and in tune with them, and it gives you more directional understanding of what's going on. And one of the really odd quirks about ambient modes that people don't know and don't talk about is they can simulate open back headphones, and this is the audio side of me. An open back headphone will increase the soundstage and make it more fun to listen to music at times, as opposed to, the more intimate feeling when you have a closed back headphone. So if you can have a more natural sounding ambient mode, it will improve the sound quality as well if people want to listen in that mode. The sixth and final thing that I want to see improvement on is relating to foldability and build quality. When I say foldability, many of you know the XM5s do not fold. And while I think that the design was a step forward, the lack of folding brought that design right back below the XM4s. And I know Sony knows that they kept the XM4s on the market because they knew that it would be polarizing not having a foldable headphone. They have to fold. That is a requirement when it comes to the XM series. They've done it since the beginning. They need to do it again. That being said, when it comes to the foldability, they need to make sure that the hinge is improved upon. The XM4s, while I didn't have any issues because I take care of my headphones, there are a lot of people who have kids, animals, and other things that might mess with the headphones and could break the hinge. They might bend the headphones every which way, and the hinge needs to be stronger. That's okay. So if Sony can improve upon the hinge by adding maybe more metal to it, that would be great. And with that comes build quality. I am kind of getting tired of plastic on everything that we buy now. And while I understand it reduces weight and makes things easier to produce, some metal can be great on a headband and accenting along the headphones themselves. I just want to see some more metal and some improvements in build quality on the overall product. I don't want to see a ton of plastic anymore, especially at the price that we're starting to pay on these headphones. And if we're going to start seeing the drivers improve and some of the other things, and they're going to start charging more, that means that the materials and the fit and finish also need to improve, in my opinion. In summary, if Sony takes even 5 out of 6 of these things, I would be very impressed with this new headphone, and I think that they would improve and push forward the market in many ways. In my opinion, the new drivers would be groundbreaking for the industry. An IP rating would be massive for this headphone so that people could use it out and about as well as in the gym. I would really love to see an improvement to the dynamic noise canceling if they're going to keep it in the headphone. Improve call quality when it comes to the microphones, as well as a pass-through mode being improved. And last but not least, I want to see it fold again. It needs to fold, and I want to see more premium build quality. I think if Sony can at least get these done, we will be in a very good spot. And if they can do some customizability features, we're going to be in an even better spot. Granted, I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you all on what your opinions are about my list and what your list might be as well. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, great evening, whatever it might be in your area, and I will see you all later. Thank you so much.